being here on your campus, this beautiful space for learning, but we happen to be sitting in your newest building.
Right.
And I understand that the design of this building was a project in
Yes.
itself. So
Yes,
I wonder if
it
you could
was.
talk a little bit about how this building came to be the way it is, and what was kind of the story behind the blueprints, if you
Yes,
will.
yeah. Well, we had a community group, a facility advisory of teachers and parents that started on a journey with us to address a problem. The problem was we were overcrowded. We were about 500 students overcrowded when we started the project. We were 700 students overcrowded when we ended.
Wow.
So we had a challenge to face, and our problem that we posed to the community to help design was we're going to run a budget-driven process that will cost no more than the cost per square foot of a traditional building. But we're going to push ourselves to say, what would a building look like that reflected the types of teaching and learning that we believe is important for students for their future and to have the skills they need. It had to be flexible enough that it would be able to be used by any grade of student as the enrollment flux and change occurred. And so we started with that. We started with the book, The Third Teacher, and we started exploring models of space. And then we came to some design values. Like, we want the space to be flexible. We believe that teachers have to have a space that can change in a minute and do exactly what they needed to do in order to put student learning first. We wanted there to be transparency so that we reinforce that learning is a community sport and that we're all in this together, and also give teachers the ability to see students no matter where they might be learning, as well as teachers to be able to observe colleagues very fluidly, very informally, as part of that as well. And we wanted the spaces to be multi-purpose. How can a cafeteria do more than just be a cafeteria? How can a hallway be more than a hallway? And so we launched into that design process, and along the way had many different charrettes and examples of the building where we would invite the community to come in and mark on design boards things they loved, things they hated, students and staff alike.
Sure.
And through that process, really designed this building.
Yeah,
we feel like
such a gorgeous
there's nothing
space.
like it. Yeah,
Nothing
for
like
us.
it. And as you said, you went out looking for examples, right? And
Right.
didn't quite find what you wanted.
Really didn't find what we were
Yeah.
looking for. We saw examples of some collaborative spaces, but not an entire building that embraced that identity. And so we actually turned to some corporate models. We looked at Google Office. We looked at the Bob Evans headquarters here. We looked at a lot of different corporate spaces where again, buildings were starting to reflect the type of workplace that adults were going to work in, and how could we bring those concepts into a space where students were going to work and need to learn those same independence, collaboration, and creative problem solving that adults had to do every day. So that was a big part of the design.
And it sounds like you used really project-based learning and inquiry to drive that whole process.
Right, absolutely. From the very big question,
Yes,
the entry question to say, how are we going to do this? And it can't cost more than a traditional building. And actually the building came in under budget.
Wow, it's amazing.
So, yeah.
And so when that initial group of community members, or all of those who were involved in the process, when they see the building now, do they see their ideas come to life?
Absolutely,
Yeah.
particularly those that engaged and were part of the process.
Sure.
But I would have to admit that part of this journey is introducing a space like this to adults who don't see how a space like this can work. Because it's a tangible way to lead the conversation about the fact that this generation of students needs a type of education and a type of teaching and learning that's different than what many of us experience. And I think problem-based learning fits a really important role in that conversation.
So the space itself has sparked some of those conversations?
Yes, absolutely.
That's great.
Absolutely.
Going both ways, both
Yes.
facilitating
Yes.
the learning and getting people to think deeper about it.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
That sounds fantastic.
Yeah.